Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. For you returning, for anybody new out there, welcome. My name is Ian, aka Tall. My wife's name is Gail, but aka Small. She's working today. Today I've got the lovely task of fitting a Wi-Fi system to our caravan. I'm going to document as much of that as I can for everybody. It's always useful as a video for everybody to go back to. I've certainly looked at a couple of videos in the last couple of days to see what people do, don't, pitfalls, etc. So guys, what are we fitting? We are fitting the AVTEX AMR104X. It's not an unboxing video because I've already unboxed it. But in there we get the running style router, which is a 4G one in this setup, which is plenty fast enough for the caravan. Aerials, screws, power cord, all the normal paraphernalia, and then of course we have the aerial that sits on the roof. The controversial bit, which is the AVTEX 4G 5G ready aerial, which is coming out, which is there. Which is now turned to a round one, so everybody doesn't get so much of an issue with trying to line it up, although I'm going to be lining up the writing on there at the same time. Normal 3M sticky pad on the back, and then I'll show you the items that I've got to actually help fit this unit, because I deal with 3M as a company at work, and their advice is to always use these lint-free cloths, which is a throwaway cloth to clean, and their 3M cleaner, which is a surface cleaner, which again, you'll see when I do the job, you apply it, you clean the surface, it'll leave it ready for the adhesive to take hold, but you must leave it for a good 10 minutes afterwards to make sure that it evaporates and it's gone completely away, otherwise it's going to attack this, the glue on the pad. So these two are going to work extremely well together, definitely. I'll be quite proud of me actually following their steps I did out. 3M as a company are very good to deal with, and always found them very helpful. So anyway, we'll take you through the steps as I go. Let's get a few more things set up and tried. I'm going to set this system up in the caravan first before I actually fit it, just to make sure everything's working. That's what Avtex do ask you to do, to make sure that you don't fit it all in and then find you've got an issue after, especially once you've got that hole in the van. So I'll come back to you as soon as I do it. Thanks guys. A bit of a messy setup on the side there, just to prove everything's working. So we've taken power from the TV outlet for that. We've got the router powered up. You can see the card is inside, it's getting signal, and actually open door, Avtex's aerial is plugged in. So everything's up and working, so we're just going to now transfer all this into there and get it all working. So take you along the way as much as I can. So here we go. Right guys, so what I've decided to do is I've took the shelf out of the cupboard, show you that. So that's now out of my way, and what I've done is marked a position on the ceiling, which you'll see just there. Now that is checked again. I'm just going to go around and check again on the outside. What I've got on this is I've got a lot of clearance around the aerial, so you can see there's absolutely no interference around it, and that is an absolute perfect point there. It's way away from the van seals, so it's not going to interfere with that. I can see that the awning rail is perfect anyway, so, and it's just been in for service, so that would have spotted any issues. And it's well clear of the front of the van, so that looks like a good spot to ever go. So this is where we go for it. Let's get this tape back out. I don't want that interfering as it goes. So just another double check from my perspective. 31 is going to be there. Plenty of clearance around the edge of it, so it's well away from any seals and anything. So, and just interested, I've not cleaned the van at the top yet, because I'll clean it once I've got everything drilled and that. So just watch every one of those sheets and you can see straight away the difference that that does. They soak up the moisture brilliantly, but also they're there to do its prominent job, which is clean the surface, and already you can feel it's better, but obviously there's going to be residues of cleaners and stuff on there, so we'll get rid of that. Okay, let's go for it.
I can get through with this without having to oh, we're through already. That's absolute piece of cake. So
we'll go outside now and put the dreaded 25mm hole in there. So we have a tiny hole, so that's where we're going to line the cup. That's exactly where I thought it would be. Just to double check before we put a bigger hole in. Yeah, absolutely perfect clearance round, that's going to be lovely. So let's open this baby up. It's a bit that you dread. It's be nice and square, nice and slow. It doesn't have to be done to in the next 2 days or 2 weeks. Nice and slowly. There we go. Absolutely lovely insert. What I'll do is I'll go and finish that off on the inside so we don't get a rough cut from the inside if I can. But we have a hole nearly virtually into the van now. It's just the roof liner left. But that gives you an idea to finger size how thick the actual roof is. So and from the cutter's perspective you can see that, you know, it's not that deep at all realistically, but full of foam, metal and foam. As much of that out as I can before I go into the van. And again, just get as much of this off the roof so we don't want any splinters of stuff anywhere. But yeah, it's pretty good so far, guys. So let's go and finish
back in the inside. Let's see if we can just finish this hole off now. There we go. Hole straight through. So the last bit of that.
Yeah, strange that. Metal backed.
That
wood is. So you see there's an actual metal liner on top of this headline, which is, I never realised that, but yeah, I can understand probably why that is, their strength. And that's gone. Put this away now. And we'll get that inside of that cupboard just cleaned out as well, so put that cutter into the box now. That's done. Now. That's what we need to do, isn't it? Obviously make sure the aerial leads come through and position everything inside and get all that done. And I want it to be a bit warmer. I want to make sure we're in double figures before I apply any of this 3M's products. That's the recommended temperatures to use, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. But fortunately on top of the van with the reflection from the sun, because we've got a few crystal blue skies as you can see in the background around me, and that should make it a lot easier today. It's a lot warmer. Yeah, it's definitely warmer up here. Again, if few shards around, so I want them out of the way after. Let's sit you up there for a minute. Let's see if I can get this to come down, and we'll see where we're going now. So let's get these leads and feed them all through. Okay, so I'm going to now dry fit this. Just make sure everything's fine. I'll make sure that we get the inside laid out, and then I can do this at the very last job, seat it onto the top of the van, and everything else is in place and it's perfectly done then. So thread the leads through. This needs extension on because the thickness of the roof, but also the insert that's actually fitted to the Avtex is purely for say fitting to a transit conversion, so it's only a thin roof. I can't remember the size, but it's going to do nothing for a caravan or anything, so tighten it up, get the leads now through. Number one, well, we have 4 leads going in. So it's worth noting that this aerial is actually 5G compatible. So there we go. Look, that's quite a snug fit in that hole. So there we go. So we're in position. So quite like that. Very nice and snug, guys. Look. So plenty of gap between the edge, so we're not interfering anything to do with the main seals of the van. Plenty off the front, off away from away from aerials. The important thing that Avtex do say is don't fit these next to your TV aerials or any other aerial for that matter, because it is a case that these will have potential interference and you'll have gone through all doing all that. They say at least 12 inches away. Looking at where my aerial is now, if I'd have done that on that side, it'd be right up to the front of the join of the van, and that's a compromise that I don't wish to do personally. That's potentially an issue that we don't want to give the manufacturer the chance to put any doubt. It's nowhere near these seals, nowhere near that seals. I think it's actually fell just in a beautiful place actually. So let's get inside and start the wiring. Right, so I'm going to try now to find out where I can get the permanent live from. Oh, sorry, not permanent live, switch live. Switched us in from the main caravans. I don't want it to be live when we're not in, but I want it to be fused as well. Now I've got main feeds behind here, which is where I'm going to look for. What I wish to try and do is tap into those feeds with a separate fuse, and in that way around it's completely protected on its own. Hopefully I can do that from behind here, and once we've got into this section and found out what all this is about, we can then potentially sort the final position of the router really, because at the moment I'm not sure where that's going to go, but we shall see. And hopefully just give us what we want, which is to get in behind these electrics. It certainly is. So what have we got? That's what I want. So no power on. Nope. So negatives are the whites. I need to know which one's got power now. So let's see. So the blue's the feed. means 13.4 after. So we need a white join and a join onto that green one there, blue one there. So what I'm going to do, I found the feeds that I need. So I need to now feed my electric connection somehow behind there, which is a bit I'm not quite sure of at the moment. So let's open up this cable of mine. Again, twin automotive cable on a reel AVTEX, and gives us nice cables. So what I want to be able to do now is get through that walls and down, which is going to be an interesting scenario. To be honest, I'm going to come away from the edge there because I'm really not convinced where the perfect size. Didn't guess that as well. So there we are, the unit. And what we want is enough cable to make that so it sits flat inside the unit after, which it does. So as I said, I like them nice and neat. Right, so let's strip this cable back. I'm going to just strip this back for testing purposes afterwards, so I can test the power's come through right before I connect it up to the AVTEX. So I just want to make sure we've got the right connections and everything's perfect before we do so. So again, by the right amperage. These 5 amps. This router will pull about 1 amp. Again, what we want to do is be able to get a fuse. And I'll put a fuse in that side, I think. Shall I? No, I'll put a fuse in this side. I think that way around. Worst case scenario, I've only got to take this off to do it, but just cross it, don't blow on me. I'll always know, so. So I've bought an inline fuse. Is there, which has already come pre-fitted with the 5 amp fuse, and that way around I've always got this to protect inside there as well. So definitely want that to happen. And also insulation tape, guys. I'm going to put the insulation tape in my pocket now just to warm up a bit while we're doing this. Don't want these. I've got the right connection on. Get a meter out again. So it's just worth checking all your connections as you're going along, just to make sure that everything is doing exactly what you expect it to do. It's far easier than trying to do that at the end. And you notice I'm using wire strippers, which is because I've done so much electrical work over the time. Doesn't like thin gauge wires as much, must admit, but there you go. So we're checking now that we've got a good connection of the red all the way through. Let's just check now. Sure, we're still powered off for everything, can't we? Yeah, I don't want to risk anything today. Yeah, perfect connection between those two, so I know that Scotch tab's working. I can tape that up now. And that's one done. Lovely. So I can't test that one, or I can test that one to these, I suppose. Test that onto their negative there, make sure we get into 13 volts after, but we won't worry. We'll just do the next white connection, which is the negative. again, I should be able to do a negative test to that now, to a negative to negative, and I should find that I'm getting good continuity, remember the word now, between the two joints. So if I check it in that one, I can't get to it now, so I'll do it to there. Yep. What I shouldn't find is that shouldn't go down to which it does, it's a negative. Yep, perfect. Perfect. So that means I can tape all this back up now, pull it back. Well, should I? Do that after, I suppose, when I've tested everything out. I don't think I'll do that. Tape it up now. That way around it is sorted as such. It does keep it nice and supple. Don't attempt these type of jobs, guys, unless you are confident with using meters, checking things out, buying the right size equipment. You know, it is important to make sure you're matching cable sizes because you don't want them burning out. Putting fuses in there so you can actually make sure the fuse goes, not taking cables out. It's super critical. You don't want to be taking the risks. And then, you know, being able to test, make sure everything is doing what it's supposed to be doing. If in doubt, try it again, make sure there's nothing untoward going on. And when you're actually finally happy like this, put it away. So I'm happy with those joints now, so those are okay. Those can all just go in there ready. And as I say, if that fuse goes, I've got access through there if necessary. I don't, you know, it's only should be fault dependent on the unit, which is going to do its job then anyway. So what we're looking at now is where do we put this unit? Where is this unit going to go? And I'm already thinking it's got to go quite high up there. That's where I want it to live. Again, I'm going to use the Scotch tabs on these. Absolutely perfect. There's 6 hands when you're doing this, that's the trouble. Perfect. That's locked up. I'll just tape that one up while I'm doing it because it says trying to get into it after, which is difficult, of course. Oh. To admit, this Halford's tape I'm using is not the stickiest and the best I've ever used, I must admit. It's pretty grim, but at least I wanted to keep it all black so it was neat, you see, but yeah, it's pretty grim. Anyway, so let's see. We'll see. Right, so now we need to get, just go back to the AVTEX manual. I think it'll make much difference to me just testing it, but I just want to make sure. Putting the leads on where I should do for the. So, yellow are 1 and 2, which is the 2 centre ones. And the 2 whites on the outside. Don't know what difference that actually makes, but that's what they recommend. So I'll do a few checks now before I'm happy with, before we do the fixings into the actual van of the 2 units, the aerial and this. But yeah, so far straightforward. Let's hopefully it carries on. Let's turn it off at this point. Get the power onto there, put some power on the van and see what we're at. Ooh. Only one way in there, of course. So, power on. Light's still working on this side, which you should be right. So let's give some power here. Fingers crossed. Yep, Avtex lighting up. Beautiful, that's the best thing you can see when you've just done that. And we'll see what's happening with the air. I'll give it a chance to boot up because I can't stand it up now with the power lead on there. I'll do it like that. Be interesting to see if I do get any faster speed now from it being outside on the roof as an aerial. So who knows? I hope so. I have had a lot of issues though trying to position my Wi-Fi on site and trying to get, you know, the perfect spot in the van, and most of the time that's high up on the windows where obviously there's no metal, and that also gives me issues then because you need to charge it and you can't charge it from that position, so you have to then take it back down to charge it. And if this takes away all the hassles, hopefully it will. Let's yeah, amen to that sort of thing. 20.5 and 26. I'll do nicely for me. So I'm happy with that. I'll just put this cover back on this light. That's out the way. Don't need that open now. Right, vacuum. Let's get them bits up there. I'm going to take that up on the roof now and vacuum it, I think. It's now, so that's good. It's actually doing its job, and just flick it around. I know it's side on at the moment, but you can see that we're getting full signals and everything in there, so everything's working as it should do. Right, so the roof is vacuumed nicely off now. Oh, didn't drop you guys then. So what I'm going to do now is take up the 3M cleaner and give it its first clean over. See what we get off it. This is the most crucial bit to make sure these pads and everything work well. So let's see what we can do as we climb aboard. Excuse me if I lose you when climbing the ladder, talking to you. This is not a good idea, is it really? So, cleaning equipment, 3M cleaner. Very, very sunny day at the moment. So let's get you in position. See what I'm doing. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, because you can see what I'm doing. Right, so let's take out the aerial at the moment, which is still connected, by the way, downstairs in the caravan. So this is absolutely classic roll. Not expensive, better than the blue though. The blue can leave fibres behind and stuff, so this is why this is better. We use this for doing our crystal levers and such like at work. So thank you for Nigel for letting me use some of this stuff. So let's get a nice clean all round. I mean, I'm cleaning like everybody else does, where it makes it look like you see the dirt coming off that, guys. And I'll just clean it earlier. This is so critical. Probably does a good job on the seals, actually. It actually does. Surface prep, look. Surface prep is key. It's like painting onto mud. If you paint onto mud, what do you expect to happen? It's just going to peel off, isn't it? I don't expect your sealants and your pads to do anything differently. And like I said, make sure, mind you, with the sun up here, it's going to evaporate off pretty instantly by the feel of it. So, but just keeping it. Doesn't matter how many times, just give it a good key. You want that adhesive to do its full job, full potential. Very good at cleaning this stuff, is it? I don't think it'd be cheap to do your whole van with this, but certainly does its job though. Squeaky clean, as I always used to say. Yeah, it actually is good. I'll leave that out now for a minute, just so I can have the surface warm up nicely and that dry off. And give it one final. That's beautiful and clean, that is. Give that one final clean with just the rag itself after, with no more cleaner. The cleaner's done its job. Don't need to do any more with that. Just clean the top of there, everyone. That's it. Why not? The roof's due to be having its second clean this year. It's already been done over the winter, the roof has anyway, so just to have another clean shortly. I'll do another couple of trips and I'll do it. It's not too bad at all really, considering it's always pools though, I must admit, around by the window frame there. Amazing. Over time I reckon that window will leak out of this, because it just pulls towards it, whatever you do. We'll see, keep an eye on it, as I do with the rest of the van anyway, so. Yeah, that's a definite dirty bit round by the windows. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to put some silicone around there, Sikaflex, and just on the edge of that as well, just to help give extra sealant, you know. I'm assured by Avtex you don't need to do this, and to be honest, knowing 3M as I do as a company, I don't think you do either, but just for belt and braces, I don't want any reason for this to leak and then be blamed for any issues with the van at a later stage. So, right, that's that done. It's warming up nice actually, it's quite good. I'm happy with that. So we'll give it one final I think I'm just going to give it one more blast over with this actually, for what it's worth. Can't can it now? It's perfect. If you look for this stuff, any ice spray phrase, I think it is surface clean good, but now that's the 3M surface cleaner we're using, which obviously matches this fantastically. So can't be too careful. Looking around, I can't see anybody else with one of these fitted yet. Oh, I don't know, yeah, a couple. So, right, that's perfectly clean. I'll give one wipe over as I come and do it after, but there you go. So, let's turn it the other way up. Get the sun on the pad, which won't hurt it at all, it'll be good. And then we're going to disconnect downstairs now for now. The route is still going nicely, so I'll just give it one last final check before I disconnect everything again and go for a final. You are connected to the internet, I know that. So, arrow's upside down up there, so it's not doing its job properly. Yeah, that's actually affecting it being upside down. Right, and let's disconnect and get things done. See you in a bit, guys. Right, guys, so now back up on the top now. So a nice warm pad, which is good. One of these out so I can just do a final wipe before this actually gets stuck down. Put 3M cleaner back up with me just in case. We'll get some Sikaflex around the outside of this first. So let's just get Sikaflex set up. Going to go all over me. Usually does. Hopefully not. I just thought whether the mic was working, and then actually checked. I've just been rambling away to you guys. I'm in a blank video with music when they're doing all this. Right, so one to wipe after and one to, so that's my wiper one. I just put my Sikaflex on as it comes out, which I hate this stuff with a passion. Out she comes. Yeah, beautiful. I'm not going right over the van, I don't want to have to be cleaning that off today. Right, let's try and find get this pad off now then. So just get the position for my Sikaflex if I can. I'm going to put it all around the outside of that bolt. Just give it extra where it enters the caravan. And again, this is personal choice. The manufacturers have said of this that you don't have to do this, but I am super cautious. So it's extra on the outside of that. I think I'm just going to give it some just on the outside of the boot. As I've said previously, just I know 3M very, very well. Very much love their products. We use them at work, the automotive industry. You wouldn't believe how many items are glued on with their pads, etc. So, but you never know. So I don't want water in my van no more than anybody else does, so let's just make sure we don't. Right, so that's that in. So just so you can see that, guys, thin bead around the outside and around the nut area, just to give us some extra confidence. So, as I don't wish this to go around the van, let's try and get the sticker down in one if I can. My personal choice in the direction, which is that. Sikaflex on my hand, which is what I said I didn't want. And then final heave-ho push with this, because it takes some pushing down apparently. Oh, blimey, just go into position as well, so lovely, and that's providing an extra seal around it as well. So yeah, the whole van's moving. So it's done its job. And the Sikaflex so it doesn't go all over me again. Put the one back on, it covers it over after. So, outside aero done, just need to go and bolt it down now. But yeah, I'm well happy with that. The boot's nicely snug on that. Yeah, very happy. Job done. So as I said, extra precautions, because that's what I'm like with sealants and that, it's just not worth it. But do highly recommend 3M products. So try and do this without it going all over me. Successful. Right then, so it's the Avtex label off the top. That's out in the open now. Welcome to the world. Okay, just take these products down. I'll catch you guys in a minute. Let's see if I can just get the nuts and that done up on this area now, just to get its final pull down, and then that'll be finally in its position. Oh, would be helpful if I do that first, wouldn't it? I'll find the other nut that's held in there. It is the anti-rotation. And those of you who don't know, anti-rotation nuts always go up against the thing at your screen. I've seen people put that on there first. It's not to, the washer is to stop it pulling through your ceiling, and then the anti-rotation is to stop the nut afterwards moving. And the amount of people we have fit our products at work and don't actually put the anti-rotations on and wonder why the levers and things come loose. And we say, have you fitted the anti-rotation? Yes. You go and you check, and they haven't. It just gives an extra bite against the head of a screw or nut to make sure things don't vibrate loose after all, work loose if where possible. Looks like I'm going for England in there. Right now, this only needs a very, very low torque, which most of you will be aware you're not going to get a torque wrench around that. Not an easy one. I've got ones at work that would do it if it was worth it, but I don't think it is somehow. I'm just going to use the plumber's pliers just to give it a nip up, and if it works after, I don't want to be putting a bellow in the roof or anything daft like that. Or again, let's just be sensible about it. It's not, what it's doing is trying to make sure these things are tight fitted. That's all. Which I'm guessing that's that. Yeah, that's enough. I don't. That's it. Beautiful. Lovely. So that's that bit done. Now it's time to get the shelf back in and see where we actually want these cables and everything to go. Right, let's see if we can get these screws in the wall and the pad on the back to support this. Again, just check, cross-checking again. I think it's yellows to the middle two, whites to the outside. I don't know what difference it makes, as I said previously, but follow the instructions. Yellow to 1 and 2, white to 0 and 3. That's the job. So, yeah, middle ones. So, this is where I can work out the position properly in the cupboard then, without fear I've got it in the wrong spot. I can't do anything, but in the centre of the cupboard so I can always see if it's turned on or whatever. So, 2 aerials in there. I'll hold that a minute. And get the old screws that I've got here. Old, new screws. Just to position it and fix it in. Right, so into the nitty gritty bit now where we get things tidied up on there a bit. So cable ties and that. Right, this little wiring to look neat. I don't know how good these are, but let's see. They're supposed to hold cables behind it to the wall, etc. So that's what they do. get that off now.
More things to clean out here after, but still, you know.
Supported in there now. Quick vacuum in that cupboard and that's finished. Now we're all in and neatly done. All fastened up neatly, back into the cupboard. Connection there for me. All the cables neatly away. I think small won't be too upset with that. So it's now time to get the van all cleaned up. So overall, not a difficult job. Take a little bit of time, but it's definitely worthwhile. So now that's in the van now, finished. I'm only going to just turn the powers on when we get in, and the Wi-Fi is well away. So we got much issue. We're going on to the strength of the battery at the moment. 13.8 volts, so it's doing nothing to us. Well, obviously, it's less than a lamp, so it's not going to. Oh, something's in your horizon. Anyway, I'll catch you later, guys. We're away at Broadway soon, so we'll be putting that video on soon. We've got a video to come from Malvern Hills last week with the family. So I'll catch you soon. Take it easy, guys. See you later. Bye bye now.